All right, we're here for the conclusion with Joel Larson's red aggro deck from Pro Tour Magic Origins, where he took down the entire tournament. If you watched any of his games in top 8, they were really fast, very similar to the games that we just played. I think that has a lot to do with how good Searing Blood is against basically every deck in the format, but also the strength of having both Exquisite Firecraft and Stoke the Flames in your deck, being able to burn your opponent out from nearly any life total. I think that the creatures were the weakest part of the deck, but I think they're a necessary evil. You got to hope that your creatures do some amount of damage, and usually 5 damage is enough. I think half the games we played, our creatures dealt somewhere around 5 damage, and we just went, Stoke, double Firecraft, Lightning Strike to kill you. But for the most part, the worst creature for me felt like Lightning Berserker. I think I would rather just have a 4th Fire Drinker Satyr in the main deck over over one of the Lightning Berserkers. I would probably rather also have a 4th Zergo. If your Zergo doesn't die, then you're usually winning anyway. And I think it allows you to do some suicide type attacks with either extra copies of Zergo or the potential threatening of extra copies of Zergo. And if they block and trade or they block and eat it, you get in like a few points with Abbott or potentially a pumper like Berserker or Fire Drinker Satyr, and I'll let you just follow up with the second Zergo. But I got not much of anything. A quick 4-0. I don't think I lost a game, and nothing really felt all that close. I think the closest matchup was the blue-red Thopter deck. I assume it was similar to... Oh man, I forgot his name. It wasn't like Mike Segrist's list. He had Wild Slash in it, and Wild Slash was actually pretty good against us, but Stubborn Now would have also been okay against us in a lot of the situations where we were at. But for the most part, yeah, this deck looks really overpowered. I can only imagine that it even gets better with the implementation of the new Mulligan rule, simply because aggressive decks mulligan more often than non-aggressive decks, just because they need a very specific opening couple of turns to put pressure on the opponent. Like if I had a hand after game 1 without a 1-drop creature, I knew that I could usually keep it because the matchup wasn't about putting a lot of pressure on them early. It was about grinding them out and burning them out. And but in a lot of game 1s, especially when I'm on the play, I don't know if I can keep a hand without a 1-drop creature. Maybe if your hand is just really stocked full of burn spells, you can, and I'm sure there are some hands you can keep, but imagine being on the draw in a lot of those scenarios and being able to scry and make sure you have a 1-drop even after you've mulliganed. I think it also allows you to mulligan more aggressively to find very good specific openers, but it also makes it less punishing when you mulligan, whereas with decks like this in a lot of scenarios, you can't afford to draw more than like 4 or 5 lands. And if you do draw more than 4 or 5 lands, a lot of times you just end up dying. So kudos to Joel Larson. Everything looked on point. The sideboard maybe needs some Magma Sprays now that we know Hangerback Walker is a thing, but other than that, everything looked great. I used every sideboard card, and they were all good. Oh wait, no, I don't think I ever drew Chandra, but I did want to draw her a few times, so it's probably fine. It's probably great. Anyway, guys, that's all for me this week, or I guess for today. I don't actually remember if I have something going up tomorrow, but that's going to be all for me tonight. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.